Listen, I hate to break it to you, but you've been lied to. Now, not by me, because y'all know I'm always out here trying to give you truth and not like just fluffy things. But a lot of times, YouTubers don't tell the whole truth. A lot of times, YouTubers, especially education YouTubers who are out here like, you can start a channel, you can do this thing, start your channel by tomorrow, aren't telling you some things or are leaving out pieces of the puzzle. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what YouTubers don't tell you about starting a channel or growing on YouTube or being a YouTuber. And honestly, some of these might shock you. Also, do you like my chicken cup? I got this years ago. I know you're going to ask me where I got it. I don't know. I ordered it on from like a creator, and I don't, look how cute the chickens are. And it says Farmhouse State of Mind. Super freaking cute, but it doesn't have a name on it. I don't know where I ordered it from, but it is by far my favorite mug ever. So, and I'm drinking bubbly water out of the mug. I wanted a mug. You know what? Shoot me. It's fine. Maybe that's the first thing YouTubers don't tell you, is it's like Gilmore Girls. There's not always coffee in that cup. If you're like, what is that reference, Jessica? So many times in Gilmore Girls, so many times you can tell the coffee cups are empty because they're just like throwing them around. And not only that, but Alexis Bledel, years after Gilmore Girls was over, was in an interview and was like, yeah, I don't like coffee. So clearly she was drinking something else in that mug. But yeah, I'll always take advantage of the opportunity to put in a Gilmore Girls reference. So there you go. Okay, but for real, the number one thing, literally probably the thing that if I had to pare this list down to one thing, it would be this, is that YouTube is a lot of work. And I think that sometimes people intentionally try and make it feel or sound easier than it is because of what they're trying to do. And I could have possibly been guilty of this in the past. I've never tried to or been intentional about it, but I see so many like YouTube creators who are like, it's my whole business to help you get on YouTube and to teach you how to do the things on YouTube, who were like, it's so easy. It's so fun. You can just chop up what you're already doing and put it into YouTube videos. No, it's a lot of freaking work. It is. Hands down, a lot of work. It doesn't matter what your niche is. It doesn't matter if you're vlogging, if you're filming sit-down talking head videos like this, if you're filming masterpiece videos. It's a lot of work. And it's a lot more work than 99% of other platforms. If I want to make a TikTok, I just sit down and like film myself with my phone and put it on. I don't edit it. I don't like that. That's it. That's it. If I want to do an Instagram story, same thing. If I want to do an Instagram post, I might have to take a photo, or I might have to create a graphic, or, obviously do an Instagram reel. But again, that's small potatoes when you compare it to the work that goes into YouTube. When you compare it to the fact that as a woman, you feel like you have to put on makeup and do your hair, or the fact that you have to get your lights out, or get your camera ready, or script the video, or get the sound right, or actually film the video. When it's longer than 3 minutes, it takes longer to film. Who'da thunk it, right? Or edit it after you get it done, or edit it again after you mess something up. Or put it on YouTube and upload it and make the thumbnail and create the title and optimize it and put in the keywords and all the things. I think you get it. YouTube is a lot of work. And I don't ever want to sugarcoat that. Like I have always said in my courses and things like that, like I don't ever want to sugarcoat the fact that YouTube is a lot of work, because it is. And yes, I do believe anybody can do it, kind of. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But if you're not willing to put in the work, then you're not going to be able to do it. Number two, you probably will feel defeated a lot. Whether it's imposter syndrome, you'll run out of content ideas, you'll feel like somebody else is doing something you wanted to, like whatever the scenario is, likely you will feel defeated a lot. Maybe somebody has a video that you did something very similar to and theirs went viral and yours did nothing. You'll feel defeated. Maybe, like I say, you're struggling to find content ideas and you just feel like you want to give up because it's not coming to you as naturally as you think it should. Maybe all of the creators in your niche that you follow got asked to go to an event and you didn't. That'll make you feel defeated. Maybe you applied to be a speaker at a conference and you weren't accepted, but this person over here was. I don't think this is YouTube specific. You're gonna feel defeated a lot regardless of whether you're running a business or creating content on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. But if you're a YouTuber, you just might as well get used to it because it's coming. You'll either feel not good enough or whatever, and it's just not a good feeling, but you also have to like learn how to live with it. The struggles that you have when you're smaller don't go away. They just escalate when you're larger. Not having content ideas, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you're keeping up with the Joneses, not feeling like you are doing as good a job as somebody else, not having enough time, not being able to edit, like all of the things that you feel as a smaller creator never go away, I promise. And that's probably not comforting, but they don't. Now, there are some things that as you get larger, you can get help with. Some things do get easier as you go along too, but understand that just being a larger creator doesn't mean you have it all figured out. It just means that you've learned how to deal with those struggles, and or you've probably hired out for somebody to help you with them. It is really freaking hard sometimes to come up with content ideas. Y'all, when I tell you that I have spent 2 days trying to come up with my content ideas to put on my content calendar for the next 2 weeks, I'm not even joking. Normally, content ideas come really easily to me. And I actually have a video coming next week on what to do when you don't have content ideas that came out of the fact that I was struggling. But sometimes it's really hard to come up with content ideas. And as a content creator, it's literally your job. And so you're constantly in this state of like struggle. And that's why I mentioned that like you'll feel defeated a lot, and that could be one of the ways. Coming up with content ideas can be really hard, and it never gets easier. Now, you could be in the type of niche or the type of like channel that your content is kind of already set for you, or your content ideas are already set for you. Maybe you have an interview style podcast that goes on YouTube, and that's already set for you because you already know what you're doing. Then you're probably not going to struggle. But for the most part, struggling to come up with content ideas is not something that is easy, and is not something that goes away as you get larger either. So understand that like you might get started and struggle with content ideas, and it's totally freaking normal. Now, this last one, it might ruffle some feathers, and I've said it before on my channel, but 100% most YouTube educators are not going to tell you this. Most people who are like, get on YouTube now, are not going to tell you this, but I will. And that is that not everybody has what it takes to be a YouTube creator. Whether that's personality, dedication, the ability to be consistent, like the ability to have the skills they need because they can't hire it out. Like not everybody has what it takes. I've had students in my courses that I've had to tell, like, you know what, I don't think this is for you, because you don't have to have one particular personality to succeed on YouTube, but you need to be able to come across the camera and feel like other people want to watch you, and some people just don't have that or aren't willing to put in the work to get there. Some people have to work harder to get to the point where they feel comfortable on camera, therefore their personality comes through on camera, therefore people actually want to watch them, and some people don't want to put in that work. It's just like with anything else. So my oldest son is in football right now, and he is not the fastest kid by any means. He's way faster than he used to be, but he's just not the fastest kid. And I'm not telling you anything that he wouldn't say himself, okay? But he works really hard. He tries very hard to get faster. He does drills and exercises at home to get faster. He begged me to sign him up for CrossFit so that he could get faster and work that muscle. So for him, being fast does not come supernaturally, but he can work really hard and he's willing to put in the work to get there. Versus someone who being fast doesn't come supernaturally, but they're not willing to put in the work, they don't care enough. That's the difference in somebody who probably is gonna succeed on YouTube because they're gonna put in the work, and somebody who probably shouldn't be on YouTube. Also, the dedication. If you're just doing YouTube to check a box, if you're just doing YouTube because somebody said you should, you're probably not going to be dedicated enough to stick with it and do the things that need to be done to make sure that you grow. And that includes consistency. You're probably not going to be consistent. If you can't be consistent, you're not going to grow on YouTube. So you probably shouldn't even do it. Being a YouTuber is not for the faint of heart. Now, I didn't have this one on my list, but I feel like as I say that, I need to say something else. People can be mean, very mean. And I am someone who has pretty thick skin. And a lot of times I will take those mean comments and I will share them on Instagram to, one, show y'all that it does happen, to two, show you that it happens to everybody, and to three, show you how I handle it, because sometimes it's super fun because I bring out sassy Jessica and all the things. But people are mean. And odds are, if you stick around on YouTube for any amount of time, you will get some kind of mean comment, whether it's about your physical appearance, whether it's about your voice or whatever, or it's about the equipment you're filming with, or your room, or the information you're providing, or the content. You're gonna get a negative comment. Like, hands down, 100% you will. And so if you wanna be on YouTube, you really have to get thick skin. You really have to understand that it's gonna happen and put things in place, or do things, or get thick skin to where it doesn't bother you as bad. Like I say, I have pretty thick skin. Stuff like that doesn't really bother me. Occasionally comments will bother me, but for the most part, they don't. But there are ways to block comments. So for instance, on one of my old videos, I had chapped lips, I guess. I don't know, it was a long time ago. The amount of comments from dudes who were like, use some chapstick, was insane. And did I take the video down? No. It's useful information and I didn't want people to not have it just because a certain group of people were pissed off that I didn't put chapstick on that morning. And I probably did. I literally wear chapstick every day. I just have really chapped lips in general. But my point is, I put in comment filters so that nobody else could comment that on that video, and I deleted all the other ones. Years ago, I put someone else in my comment section on the regular so that they can delete comments that won't make me feel good, or comments where somebody's being mean, and I don't have to deal with those. And then, like I say, I've always had pretty tough skin, but you can also develop that. So if you want to be a YouTuber, it's not all roses. It's not all rainbows and unicorns. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth all the hard because I love it, and because it has been such a game changer for my life, for my business, for me as an individual. Like, everything has changed because of YouTube, so I think it's worth it. But you have to evaluate whether or not you think all of these things are worth it for you if you want to be a YouTuber. And for some people, it's just not, and that's okay. Which is why I wanted to be honest and tell you things that other people probably aren't telling you. I'd love to know in the comments below, are you struggling with something that you didn't think you were gonna struggle with when you started your channel? Like, are you like, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was gonna be this hard to X, or I didn't know that doing this thing was going to be so time consuming, or whatever. I'd love to hear in the comments below, like, how you're dealing with that. And until next time, bye y'all.